If someone is really high and going wild, never shake them casually, or something like this will happen. Jesse's girlfriend shifted from lying on her side to lying flat on her back, and as a result, she was choked by vomit and couldn't breathe. Walter was just about to step forward to help, but then he thought, this woman was nothing but trouble. Sooner or later, she would get Jesse killed. If she were to die like this, it would definitely be all to Jesse's benefit. And most importantly, she knew that he was a drug lord and had even used that to threaten him. In the end, Walter hardened his heart and watched as Jane gasped her last breath. Early the next morning, when Jesse woke up and found that his girlfriend had no signs of life, he quickly performed CPR on her. He regretted it. Maybe he never should have met Jane in the first place. Because of a moment of pleasure, he had lost the love of his life. He immediately called Walter and told him what had happened. Walter pretended not to know anything and told him not to move, saying that he would take care of everything. In fact, he had already contacted Saul Goodman, the smooth-talking lawyer, and sent a professional to clean up the crime scene, so that Jesse could be cleared of all suspicion. After this incident, Walter underestimated how much Jesse loved his girlfriend. At this time, Jesse was completely down in the dumps. Walter saw Jesse crying like a child, but the thing had already happened, and he had to get Jesse back on his feet. Walter sent him to a drug rehabilitation center. Before leaving, he told Jesse, if you can't find me when you get out, go to Saul's and get the money. I've deposited your share there. It was like words an elder would say to a child, but it was more like a last message to a close buddy. Yes, today was the day of Walter's surgery. If it was successful, he and Jesse would have a chance to meet again. But if it failed, Walter might not survive the operation. He was very calm because he had already saved up enough money for his family. His wife tried to make him relax by talking about some interesting things to distract him, but Walter said the wrong thing under the influence of the anesthesia. Fortunately, Walter's surgery was a great success, and now he could basically live like a normal person. When Skylar learned that he could live independently, she decided to leave with the children. It turned out that after Skylar found out that Walter had 2 cell phones and thought about what Walter had been doing lately, she came to the conclusion that Walter was having an affair. Walter stood there stunned. He had risked his life for this family, but what he got in return was his wife's lack of trust. The things he was doing couldn't be told to his wife because even if one day he was caught, his wife wouldn't be implicated. Walter couldn't make up for this lie, and in Skylar's eyes, his inability to explain was like an admission of the affair. In the end, he couldn't stop his wife from leaving. Not long after, there was a huge bang in the sky, and 2 airplanes actually collided in midair. It seemed to be a sign that without the illness and the ties that bound him, Walter would make a big splash in the art world, and the Breaking Bad guy would return to the game once again.